Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Just got two things to say right now. First, I want to thank Accucare. They are awesome, our great sponsor. Get there. If you haven't been there yet, make an appointment, get to Accucare, especially towards the end of the season when your body needs to get that extra push and be healthy on the football field. Rehabilitation, recovery, they are the best. Make an appointment, call them and tell them you're coming. All right. The Shore Football Report is definitely endorsing going to Accucare. They're the best out there right now. And they have athletes going there around the clock, all sports, and that's that. And also, when you're transitioning to another sport, your body is gonna be needing this Accucare treatment because you're using different body parts. So just make sure that you utilize Accucare, located in Brick. They are the best. I love being associated with them. They are part of the team, the Shore Football Report team. All right. The other thing I want to say is this: subscribe to the Shore Football Report YouTube channel. Every one of you, when you watch it, click subscribe. It's free. It's free. Turn the notifications off if you don't want to hear it, but subscribe. By you subscribing, says thank you. I need 1,000. I want 1,000 subscribers. Please, 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 please subscribe. Scott Stump says I don't say it enough on our show. That's why we don't got 1,000 subscribers. But subscribe. All joking aside, it's the cool thing to do. All right. Join the Shore Football Report team. We got so many things that are going to be going on our YouTube channel, not just our talk shows. We're going to have extensive all-star team coverage that we're going to do. Also, yes, you've been asking, the Stumpy Awards, they're coming back. The Stumpy Awards are coming back from 8 years ago, and I know you guys are going to love it. So we're going to have all my all-star teams, all county, all shore, all division, my rankings of players, because I changed things up and seeing how guys are playing, adding the freshmen, the 2026s are going to be included in that rankings too. It's a lot of stuff, all going to be on our YouTube, the Shore Football Report YouTube. Subscribe. You won't want to miss it. In the off season, I'll be doing things around the clock for recruiting, talking with college coaches and coaches from all over the country will be on my talk shows throughout the off season. There's no off in my season. All right. Subscribe to the Shore Football Report, and also, more importantly, make an appointment to Accucare.
In South Jersey Group 2, we are going to have a guaranteed Shore Conference champion. Rumson Fairhaven heads right up the road to Hazlitt to play Raritan. Raritan back in the state finals for a second straight year. Rumson I mean, the run they're on is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Since 2010, when they won their first state title, they've been in the state finals every single year except one that it was contested. I mean, one, didn't have it the one COVID year, but they are on a run that is basically unprecedented in short conference history as far as reaching sectional finals pretty much almost every year for a decade, which is crazy. So this is, two teams that have known each other long. These are players that have probably played against each other since they were in sixth or seventh grade. A great matchup with a star running back on the Raritan side, Kieran Falzone, one of the short conference's best, had 3 touchdowns last week in the win over Pleasantville. Rumson with Alistair Orr has picked their running game up a lot after kind of being known as a passing team. And I hate to keep harping on the weather, but this is another one. Rumson throws the ball a lot. They have a really good passing attack behind Owen O'Toole. If this game or when this game is played on Friday night at Raritan, if it's really raining, I mean, does that favor the home team, or how do you see that being?
No, it favors Raritan because Rumson does like to throw the football. But, give credit to Coach Schulte and the offensive coordinator, John Cornelius. And, people who thought they were down and look, they can't run the football. Well, they were a Group 2 school playing Group 5s and parochial. But if you look at the last 2 playoff games, they really kind of ran off some pretty big yardage on the run game. So the run game's now pretty good, especially compared
to. I feel like they found a lot more balance here late in the season.
Yeah. I think that they'll adjust. But O'Toole likes to throw the football to Rigby and Venaccio, and Raritan's more one dimensional. They'll get you with one play action pass. Somehow Accucare will get a 70-yard touchdown somewhere. But yeah, I think it takes advantage of Raritan because it makes them more one dimensional. Rumson likes to be 50-50. With that. So.
Yeah, I mean, Rumson's coming off the win over Oak Crest in the semis. Alistair Orr at 107 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Braden Dill, 73 yards and touchdowns. So, yeah, their running game is in a good place. And this is kind of, I think, what Rumson envisioned in the sense that they had 5 new offensive linemen this year, an entirely new O-line. And their early schedule was brutal. Tom's Urban North, all these good teams right out of the gate. So they knew, that area might not be at its best at the beginning, but now those guys have 10 games under their belt. They're starting to be kind of your traditional Rumson offensive line, downhill, bulldozing team that can run a little bit. So I think that is a good sign for them that this has picked up the last couple weeks. But yeah, this very much feels like a game that's going to be won up front by one of these teams.
How about Falzone starting the game off with another special teams touchdown? I don't know what they do over there, but you got Falzone, Accucare mixing it in with different special team touchdowns. Special teams will be also very big, which Rumson traditionally is very good at that too. But Kieran Falzone and Danny Accucare, anytime they touch the football, can go the distance with that. And I'm real curious to see if Rumson can keep it going with their run game because they weren't very impressive during the season. Again, though, they were playing some pretty good. Their schedule is the best schedule for Group 2 out there, without a doubt. We don't have to do research on that. We know that.
Right.
So now they're playing their own size schools. I think they're trying to showcase, and we're pretty good. We're pretty good.
And now, who are some of the guys defensively for Rumson who are going to have to play well to stop Falzone?
Oh, Kalman, the safety, definitely Kalman. Marcus Brown is doing a great job at defensive end. You got Cooper Bunnell, one of the best defensive linemen in the short conference, who also plays offense too, is doing a great job. But they're a team. Rumson's a team. You got
also, Marshall. Luke Mikolasczyk, the linebacker. He's had a really good season.
Marshall Halfacre, who was injured last year, is doing a very, very good job on the D line. But you're right; they have a lot of good team-oriented defensive players that do a great job for Coach Jeremy Schulte's father, who's the defensive coordinator. So they're doing a great job. Jeremy, in his first football season, is now taking Rumson to where they have been, like you said, for years, many, many years, playing Petruzzi, who came out of a loss in the state sectional finals to Haddonfield. So, their whole off season was predicated on getting back and winning this thing. So it's exciting for us that somebody in the shore is going to have somebody that we can follow.
Absolutely. And not only that, two teams that have played each other for years and years in same divisions and in their playoffs and stuff like that. and Raritan going for their first title since 2015. I think this is an interesting spot because Rumson has been ranked ahead of Raritan most of the year, I'd say, in our
Yeah.
coaches poll. And Raritan is at their best when everybody counts them out.
He loves that.
Rumson's played a better schedule. They've been here. They've won it a million times. Raritan's the big underdog, even though they're the home team. Like, in other words, last year, Raritan was the number one seed and the favorite against Haddonfield. And all the pressure was on them, and they struggled in that game and lost. But now I feel like the pressure's more on Rumson here. They've been here a million times. They've won, 6 sectional titles. So I think Raritan likes that spot where people are like, I don't know. I don't know if they're that good, or I don't know if they can win this game, or they love when people count them out. That's like their wheelhouse. I mean, think about it. Their last championship, when they beat, what was it, Lincoln in Jersey City, who was undefeated, unstoppable that whole year, and they shocked them in the finals. So, yeah, you don't want to have to face a Raritan team that hears all week about how they can't win.
I think Tommy Jelinowski doesn't get enough credit. He's a center defensive tackle. Is doing a great job. Stephen McCabe, Matt Agar, Jack Coleman. Those type, Jaden Kraft, which we talked about last week. Somebody besides Accucare and also Falzone has to step up to beat a good Rumson program.
And that's also Logan Goldsberry, the quarterback. Rumson, you can't. It's very rare that you can be completely one-dimensional and beat them. So even if the weather's not great, even if it's a 7-yard throw on 3rd and 4 to just keep the chains moving, keep bleeding the clock, or it's a scramble where you run for 6 yards on 3rd and 4, those are the kind of plays that can be the difference in a game like this. So yeah, I think that you have to have a complete effort. But yeah, I'm curious because this is, 2 teams from different divisions. Like you said, Rumson played like the powerhouse of the Shore Conference division. Multiple teams from that division are still alive in the state playoffs. Raritan's division had Point Borough at the top, who just got knocked off in Central Jersey by Willingboro. So it's like the comparative strength, Will it matter? Or to me, these teams feel pretty evenly matched.
Yeah. Well, they both got tradition. Petruzzi's got a state title. Coach Schulte has been on many state championship teams. So here's the trophy, add it to your collection. Here's the trophy, add it to your collection. There's no wow factor at all right now. I mean,
the other thing I will say about Rumson in this ridiculous stretch they've had, they seem to always play their best in these championship games.
Always.
Like time and time again, they've risen up against teams that were ranked way ahead of them in the state or had gaudy stats and recruits and beat them. So, they always seem to come with their best effort when in the stage is at its brightest. But this is a chance when you find out who are the star of the stars. We know all these guys are good, but, can Kieran Falzone come out and run for 150 yards and 2 TDs on Rumson with the championship on the line? That's when you separate yourself as far as there's a bunch of good running backs in the Shore, but I'm one of the absolute best. That to me is that kind of state.
The only thing I can guarantee you is Kieran Falzone will have the football in his hand more than anybody in this game. He'll have the ball 25 to 35 times in this game, especially with the weather. But yeah, can O'Toole get that one pass to maybe Venaccio or Rigby, in the key moments of the football game? That's where I wish it was in a nice playing field because I want to see where he's at. Owen O'Toole, that outstanding sophomore. But the line is improving, like you said. Is Alista Orr going to run for over 100 yards? They're playing good football. They're balanced. Both great coaching staffs. That's an exciting game. You're going to be at that game, right?
Yeah, I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think it's just such a great showdown between comparable teams, well coached, don't really beat themselves, hard nosed, like they're gonna get in and slug it out. Whether it's pouring or they move the game, but knowing Raritan, they play in the elements. The game gets played. Like, if it's pouring or whatever, the game is gonna get played. And the other thing is, that's the benefit of getting the number 1 seed, right? Because if you feel like maybe the bad weather gives you an advantage, well, you earned it. You're the home team. You're allowed to dictate when the game is played. So, if it's like somebody has complained about that, well, win more games and get the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
So, I think that part of it is interesting. But yeah, traditionally, Raritan has just played in a downpour if that's what it
They're
is.
not going to cancel the game. I can guarantee you that game will be played on Friday, regardless of what it is. Coach Petruzzi and his style, I think it just suits him better than Rumson. I don't think it affects him as much.
But yeah, Rumson's a gritty team too, grinded out team. Yeah, and again, with a guaranteed winner, now you have one of these teams is going to be 2 wins away from the overall Group 2 championship.
Exciting.
So, I think Central Jersey is pretty strong. You look at, you had 2 state champs, Point Borough and Haddonfield, and neither of them even made the final in that bracket. So obviously there's some good teams in there. There's some good teams in North Jersey. So, it's going to be a tough road for whoever wins this game. But, I wouldn't doubt either of these teams once they win this game on Friday night to take it all the way and finish it.
Well, it's a historical tournament because now you can go to an overall state championship for each group. I think that Rumson's the only team in the Shore Conference that won a regional bowl game, which is Central South Jersey. They won. Right. I think they're the only program in Shore Conference
that did that. It's like the equivalent of what the semifinal game will be now.
Yeah, so they've been there.
I just love it because for so many years, you looked at the state rankings, and I, know a lot of reporters from North Jersey who would cover all this, and we never get to know, was this team for real or was their conference overrated and they just did really well and won their section? Like, now we're going to find out, there might be a team that has 2 or 3 losses that wins the whole thing over an undefeated team because they just played tougher competition and they're better. Scott, so I can't wait to see how it all
You're right, because I got a lot of nasty texts from all my buddies South Jersey when Point Borough lost to Willingboro. Yeah. They go, you lost to a freshman quarterback, and your conference is this, is that. There's a lot of bragging rights, not only for the players in the program, but us reporters too. Yeah. So
that you really get to find out. Was it because the teams they played in the Shore weren't that great?
Yeah.
Or was it because, or these teams that, again, have a couple losses in another area that you're going, I don't know about them. But yeah, this is going to be the all-time trash talking between conferences when this is all done in these groups to see who produced, the most high-level teams after all these years where everything was speculation.
So let's look ahead 1 week now. We both thought, and so did a lot of people, that it was going to be a collision between Point Borough and Haddonfield. They both lost on the other side of the bracket. I was there, Point Borough. Willingboro, I don't know how they had 5 losses, but they were outstanding. They had perimeter speed. The quarterback was a freshman. They scored 50 points on a team that was blowing everybody out in the Shore. So I got to consider Willingboro as the favorite against Gloucester City, who beat Haddonfield. So that's who I think the winner of this game is going to play, and Willingboro. And Willingboro is a scary football team for any of these 2 teams. They really are.
Yeah, that's not a good matchup for either Rumson or Raritan. Because those teams, are built to run the ball, shorten the game, kind of pound you on defense and win 27-13. As you just saw, Willingboro could come out and drop the atomic bomb on you, and it's like they got 50. So that you're right. It's scary that to keep up with one of those teams, but I think we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
The one thing, though, Scott, the one thing I like about Coach Petruzzi and Coach Schulte is that they keep an even keel. Whatever happens, and I try and get them going, they don't go like that. They're giving you the same answer. They're going after it the same way they did every single week, even the years before. So, I don't think they're going to be too much emotionally high or emotionally low with any play during this game on Friday. You're going to see good football, on the football field and also on the sidelines on Friday.
And I'm just curious. The other thing is both of those coaching staffs are smart that they might have a trick play up their sleeve that they've been saving the whole season. So far in the playoffs, how many times have we seen double pass already? Middletown South hit it last week. Marlboro hit one.
Yeah.
Big win for them over Washington Township. Yeah. So I wouldn't be shocked if these teams have a little bit of razzle-dazzle up their sleeve that if the weather allows them to give it a try, they might do it. But I think this is one of those games where I'm just curious, when it comes out in the first quarter, are you going to see one offensive line just pushing the other side back?
Could happen.
Or will there be a stalemate, where you're like, you can tell right away this team's not going to stop that team. or will it kind of be more of a stalemate and then just big plays here or there? That's my biggest curiosity.
I'm curious. It's going to be two good lines going at it. Like we said, Jelenesi, McCabe, the whole Rumson 5-man unit that's going there. On the other side, half acre, you have Bunnell, good football, and Marcus Brown, who everybody says really good things about that big defensive end. So I'm excited. It's going to be good football. Somebody's going to win in the Shore.